epic hunt for stories, facts, mythology. In this video, let us understand the different types of avatar Lord Vishnu has taken. Matsya, the fish avatar. King Vivasvata Manu finds a little fish in the palm of his hands when performing the water offering. The fish asks Manu if his riches and power was enough to give the fish a nice home. Manu keeps the fish to give it a home, but the fish keeps expanding, which breaks Manu's pride about his wealth. Eventually, he releases it into the ocean, realizing it is Lord Vishnu himself. Vishnu informs Manu of the coming destruction of the world by means of fires and floods, and directs Manu to collect all creatures of the world and keep them safe on a boat built by the gods. When the deluge comes, Vishnu appears as a great fish with a horn, to which Manu ties the boat, which leads them into safety. Kurma, the giant tortoise avatar. When the Devas and Asuras were churning the ocean of milk in order to get Amruta, the nectar of immortality, the Mount Mandara they were using as the churning shaft started to sink, and Vishnu took the form of a tortoise to bear the weight of the mountain. Varaha, the giant boar avatar. Jaya and his brother Vijaya are cursed by the sage Sanaka when they stop him from seeing Vishnu, and will be reborn 3 times as demons to be killed by Vishnu. In their first demonic birth they become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Varaha appeared to defeat Hiranyaksha, who had taken the earth or Bhumi, and carried it to the bottom of what is described as the cosmic ocean, much like an ether theory in the story. The battle between Varaha and Hiranyaksha is believed to have lasted for 1,000 years, which the former finally won. Varaha carried the earth out of the ocean between his tusks and restored it to its place in the universe. Narasimha, the half-man, half-lion avatar. Hiranyakashipu persecuted everyone for their religious beliefs, including his son who was a Vishnu follower. The boy was protected by the god and could not be killed, thus being saved by the several attempts of getting harmed. Vishnu descended as an anthropomorphic incarnation, with the body of a man and head and claws of a lion. He disemboweled Hiranyakashipu and brought an end to the persecution of human beings, including his devotee Prahlada. Vamana, the dwarf avatar. The grandson of Prahlada, Bali, with devotion and penance, was able to defeat Indra, the god of firmament. This humbled the other deities and extended his authority over the 3 worlds. The gods appealed to Vishnu for protection, and he descended as a boy Vamana. During yajna of the king, Vamana approached him, and Bali promised him for whatever he asked. Vamana asked for 3 paces of land. Bali agreed, and the dwarf then changed his size to that of a giant Trivikrama form. With his first stride he covered the earthly realm, with the second he covered the heavenly realm, thereby symbolically covering the abode of all living beings. He then took the 3rd stride for the netherworld. Bali realized that Vamana was Vishnu incarnate. In deference, the king offered his head as the 3rd place for Vamana to place his foot. The avatar did so and thus granted Bali immortality, and making him ruler of Pathala, the netherworld. Also Vishnu granted Bali a boon whereby he could return to earth every year. The harvest festivals of Balapratapata and Onam, which is mostly celebrated by people of all faiths within Kerala, are celebrated to mark his yearly homecoming. This legend appears in hymn 1.154 of the Rig Veda and other Vedic as well as Puranic texts. Parashurama, the warrior avatar who handled an axe. He is the son of Jamadagni and Renuka, and was granted as a boon an axe after a penance to Shiva. He is the first Brahmin Kshatriya, or warrior sage, in Hinduism who had to follow the dharma of both a Brahmin as well as a Kshatriya. Once, when King Kartavirya Arjuna and his hunting party halted at the ashrama of Jamadagni, the father of Parashurama, and the sage was able to feed them all with the aid of the divine cow Kamadhenu. The king demanded the cow, but Jamadagni refused. Enraged, the king took it by force and destroyed the ashram and left along with the cow. Parashurama then killed the king at his palace and destroyed his army. In revenge, the sons of Kartavirya killed Jamadagni. Parashurama took a vow to kill every Kshatriya on earth 21 times over, and filled 5 lakes with their blood. Ultimately, his grandfather, Rishi Rachika, appeared before him and made him halt. He is a Chiranjeevi, immortal, and believed to be alive today in penance at Mahendragiri. He is also credited with creating the coastal belt of Karnataka and Kerala by throwing his mighty axe as per Hindu mythology. The place the axe landed in the sea got its water displaced, and the land which emerged thus came to be known as the coast of Karnataka and whole of Kerala. Rama, the avatar of morality and rules, the prince and king of Ayodhya. He is a commonly worshipped avatar in Hinduism, and is thought of as the ideal model of a common prince without superpowers, despite being an incarnation. His story is recounted in one of the most widely read scriptures of Hinduism, the Ramayana. While in exile from his own kingdom with his brother Lakshman and wife Sita, she was abducted by the demon king of Lanka, Ravana. Rama traveled to Lanka, killed the demon king and saved Sita. Rama and Sita returned home and were crowned. The day of the return of Prince Rama to the kingdom of Ayodhya is celebrated in the festival of Diwali all over India. Krishna was the eighth son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and the foster son of Yashoda and Nanda. A frequently worshipped deity in Hinduism, he is the hero of various legends, particularly the Kants of Atha and Mahabharata, and embodies several qualities such as love, duty, compassion, and playfulness. Krishna's birthday is celebrated every year by Hindus on Krishna Janmashtami, according to the lunisolar Hindu calendar, which falls in late August or early September of the Gregorian calendar. Krishna is usually depicted with a flute in his hand. Krishna is also a central character in Mahabharata, Bhagavata Purana, and the Bhagavad Gita. Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, is commonly included as an avatar of Vishnu in Hinduism. Buddha is sometimes depicted in Hindu scriptures as a preacher who deludes and leads demons and heretics away from the path of the Vedic scriptures. But another view praises him a compassionate teacher who preached the path of ahimsa, non-violence. Kalki is described as the final incarnation of Vishnu, who appears at the end of each Kali Yuga. He will be atop a white horse, and his sword will be drawn, blazing like a comet. He appears when only chaos, evil and persecution prevails, Dharma has vanished, and he ends the Kali Yuga to restart Satya Yuga and another cycle of existence. Thanks for watching and subscribe and click the bell icon.